All right, Trae Young traveled his ass off against the Warriors just last week when this game happened, and we'll get to the footage right here in a second. This is 957 The Game's channel, so check out 957 The Game. I could only find this footage on his channel, and as you can see, it's only a short. I couldn't find like a full video of this, but it's such a blatant travel. It's just so horrible. It's crazy how you can just do something like this and it's not even like a big thing on the internet. There's not like multiple videos or clips of it. It just accepted that you can just travel your ass off in the NBA. To be fair to the referees, they keep changing the rules. Not every season, but the past 5 years or so, they keep changing the rules and making things different. Now you can pick up your pivot foot as long as you don't put it back down and do all these step through moves and stuff that used to always be a travel 15 years ago or so. So that does make it hard to officiate because it used to be easy. You establish your pivot foot. If you pick it up at all, it's a travel. But now you can pick up that pivot foot to go to your step through, and it's not a travel until you put your foot back down. But watching this one, it's just such a blatant travel. Again, I could only find it on 957 The Game's channel right here. And again, it's only a short. Adam Silver probably got on the internet and just wiped all this footage clean from the internet so people like myself won't go and call out some of these missed calls that are happening. There's always missed calls every night. The technical fouls and the ejections have been going crazy as well. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's just check out the clip here. I guess he established that as his pivot foot right there, but he slides it, picks it up again before he even makes the pass. But if you really watch, 1, 2, that's his pivot, slides it. I don't know if that's his pivot, slides it again, picks up that foot. He literally took, let's just count steps. 1, 2, slides his pivot foot, 3, 4, 5. Probably took like five little baby steps. Let's watch it again. When I watched, I thought his left foot was his pivot foot right there after he established, but he slides it and he picks it up again before he even passes the ball. It's probably like 3 different travels on that play. Like 1, 2, and he picks up, that was his third, and then he's sliding that pivot foot. He slides it again, picks it up before he passes the ball. I'll let it keep playing so you can kind of look it over yourself, but I counted at least like 5 steps there. Again, with the weird step through rules, you can plant this foot and step through with this foot and go into your finish. All the rules are kind of weird now. I can call a step through. Like I know with the new rules, what is a clean step through and what's not. You can step through, you can pick up your pivot foot as long as you don't slide it. But then once you put it down that next time off the step through, that's when it becomes a travel. But looking at it again though, look at his left foot. So look, 1, 2, so pivot foot established right there, but then he picks it up again, then it slides right there, then he slides it again, then he picks it up again before he even passes the ball. Again, it was probably like 3 different travels in that play. I don't know how you can't call this. I think if you look up to the top, let's see one more time. I think you can see the official right up here. See those black pants up there? That's the official right there. Like you're looking right at it. I don't know how they don't call this. I've heard Warriors fans saying the NBA is being biased towards the Warriors and not making calls for them, which is weird because I feel like the Warriors normally are one of the teams that would benefit from that, but maybe they're sick of the Warriors for having too much success, these past 10 years or who knows what it is. They'd rather promote the Lakers or different teams like that. Even though Golden State's a big large market team, I don't understand why the NBA wouldn't so much want to promote them. But this is the type of stuff that people get mad about though. Like this is such a blatant and obvious travel. The ref's right there looking at it and they just don't call it. This is where I get into I'll make a more broken down video about it. This is where I get into like gambling theories. I don't know what else you can even get onto unless you just want to say the refs suck, but they're professional referees, college, high school, middle school, they probably refereed AAU. I don't know, they referee all sorts of different levels of basketball before you can be an NBA referee. And I know the traveling rules again have been much more lenient than they used to be. But if a dude takes like 5 steps, and you see the referee's black pants right up here, if a dude's gonna take 5 steps and it's just an obvious ass travel, then just call it. I get my argument is we should have at least 1 or 2 more refs out on the court so they don't miss so many calls. There's too much stuff happening on the court. for that amount of referees, those three referees to be able to call every single thing and not miss any calls, it's going to happen. But I don't understand why they don't use the replay center better. I saw this live when I was watching the game, and I was like, oh my god, that's it's a horrible travel. You can just see it live, and then on the replay, it's even more egregious. I saw it live. I was like, yep, that's 100% a travel. I was waiting for the whistle, but they don't call it. This was in the third quarter, near the end of the quarter. But of course they don't call it. This is where I get into my gambling theories. I forgot what the exact score was at that time, but it was a fairly close game. And people will bet on things like, oh, this team's going to score this many points in the third quarter. You can bet on so many different things with all these gambling apps. So, the Warriors, they were probably just about to hit a prop. If they scored one more basket, or hit another three, they're gonna blow someone's gambling bet, or it's not gonna be it'll be less profitable for the league since they're all in bed with these gambling companies. And again, it's just a theory. I can't say that's 100% it, but if you don't want to go the gambling route, because it's an obvious travel, like I don't see why you would not call that. So if you don't want to go that route, you just have to go with the route that the referees are incompetent. I know a lot of people probably agree with that. Um, I wouldn't so much say that. They're all professional referees. They made it to the NBA. It's not easy to become an NBA official, but I put the onus on the league. Honestly, I'll make the comparison to the NFL. If they had extra referees in the NFL, or they reviewed every play on replay, they would call a holding penalty every single play. There's always a holding every single play in the NFL, whether it's the defensive player, the offensive line, whoever it is. Like right there on the D line, O line, 100% of the time, there's always a hold that's happening. It might be a small one. It's probably not that bad a lot of the time, so they don't call those all the time. But like I said, if you did the replay and you saw it over and over, you'd see all these holding calls, and the game would be slowed down. It would be boring. So probably a similar thing with the NBA. There are little fouls and things that happen that don't get called. Um, like they say, the contact didn't affect someone's shot so much. They might not call a soft touch on the elbow or things like that, depending on what the player is. But in a case like this, I saw it live. When I saw it live, I was like, that's definitely a travel 100%. I watched the replay. I was like, that's definitely a travel 100%. After this happened live, they showed the replay. 5 seconds later, we all saw it. The announcer saw it. It was even the Hawks announcers I was watching. They go, man, Trae got away with that one. That was obviously a travel. So I don't understand why us as fans, people that watch the game, the announcers can see that happen live, see it happen on the replay, and know it's 100% for sure a travel. And let's say I saw it live and I wasn't sure. I watched the replay 5 seconds later, on live TV, they're showing it, and you can see, like I said, you see it, and you're like, man, that's 100% a travel, especially after you see the replay. That was 5 seconds later, I saw the replay. So within 10 seconds time, the travel happened. I saw the replay. I'm like, that's 100% a travel. So I don't see why, the replay center can't catch that, correct the call on the court, whatever it is. They missed the call. Let's say they missed the call and Trae passes it to his player. Hypothetically, it's the end of the fourth quarter. This was the third quarter. Let's say it's the end of the fourth quarter. Trae Young gets away with the travel, passes it to the player, and he hits a game winner. And then, they go back to review the play, and they have to call the travel and take away the game winner. But that's just what it is. I mean, is it an honest game, or is it just an entertaining and gambling business at this point? Because I still watch the NBA. It's still fun to watch. People complain about the three-point shooting and the flopping. I feel like the three-point shooting is the smallest problem. It's just going to happen. You can't stop players from shooting threes. It's a good strategy. It's obviously working for a lot of teams, so teams are going to do that. But one thing you can control is you can tighten up the officiating. Don't let stuff like this, go unnoticed. Like, you have to call that. You can't let a dude take 7 steps. 7 steps and slide his pivot foot 3 different times, switch pivot foots. Oh, my alarm's going off. Switch pivot foots, 3, 4 different times in the same possession, and then not even call it. It's stuff like this that makes me kind of look at the game sideways, especially with how in bed they are with the gambling companies. Again, I'll make a more in-depth video about that, but when I see stuff like this, I think, man, somebody had a prop bet. some bigwig that the NBA's know, or who knows what. They had a prop bet, and the NBA wanted to make sure that Golden State did not get the ball back to possibly hit another shot and mess up the over under for whoever it is. And I can't say I'm 100% right about that, but when you see stuff like this, a dude takes 6 or 7 steps, you know, from a stationary standpoint, and the referee's right up there watching it happen. They don't even call it. I can't see what it is. It's either they're in bed with the gambling companies, the referees are just incompetent, and either way, it's just bad. Comment below what you think. Again, like I was saying, just utilize your replay center. Like they go to replay. I'm sure y'all have seen this happen. They go to a replay to check if it's a flagrant foul, hostile act, whatever it is, if it was a clean block or not. But watch the very first replay, and you see it. Boom! That was all ball. That was a clean block. I see it. You see it. All the professional referees see it. They should be able to make that call faster than any of us. So we all see it at home. Oh, that's 100% a clean block. The referees sit there for freaking 5 minutes going over it, going over it. Okay, did his elbow barely touch his elbow before he swatted the shit out of him? Like, did their hips, did they brush hips and make some minor contact with their hips? And then whatever like little small thing they can pick, they'll try to pick that just to justify their call so they don't look dumb when they know that, even if they know it's the wrong call, they're still going to try to pick any little thing they can, just for their ego. And we got to get the refs' ego out of the game. It's really been frustrating lately, especially with the texts they've been giving, the ejections and things like that. I get it's an emotional game for the players and it's emotional for the referees. They're taking shit from the players all game, but at the same time, the refs have to be the cool, collected ones, and they have to call travels like this. Like this is just unacceptable. I get some little things. You might get away with 3 steps here, or you might get away with a little carry here and there, but to take freaking 6 or 7 steps, like Trae Young did here and not even get called, it just makes no sense to me. But please comment below and let me know what you think about this travel call, more specifically just officiating in the NBA lately, because I think it's a bigger problem than the 3-point shooting, the flopping, the foul baiting. I feel like officiating, it's at least right there with flopping and foul baiting. People always complain about the 3-point shooting, but the officiating and the foul baiting, they go hand in hand, because players know they can flop, they can do a foul bait move, and the refs are gonna blow their whistle and give them some soft little foul. Yet you can't call this blatantly obvious travel. And after the games, I don't know if the refs do this, but y'all need to get together. They need to go over their stuff and actually show improvement in the way you're officiating the game. And like I was saying, if it's just not enough referees, then it's an NBA problem. Get more referees out there, utilize the replay center better. I know you can't replay every single play, but there's no excuse in the biggest professional basketball league in the entire world for stuff like this to not get called. You would not get away with this in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, AAU. At all those levels of basketball, they would call this travel. So you make it through middle school, high school, college, or you play overseas, and you get to the NBA, and all this stuff you've learned, to get to that level. Now you make it to the NBA, and it's the most lax officiating of all the levels. It's like these are the professionals. They can handle, getting called for a travel or playing the game, the right way according to the rules. Yet you get to the NBA and the rules are as soft as ever, and then players get away with stuff like this. But please comment below what you think. I'm at a big 34 subscribers as well. Please like and subscribe. And YouTube said they're going to send me a new car if I can get to 50 subscribers.